Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Chicago PD star dishes on Voight's burgeoning Season 12 romance. We have seen Hank Voight deal with a host of issues over the years. The death of his son, the deaths of his best friend, and the departure of multiple IU officers who have meant a lot to him. One thing we have not seen, though, is Voight the romantic. The character has been single since the death of his wife, which took place years before Chicago PD started. He has been alone for as long as he has been on our TV screen, but Season 12 is hinting at a possible change. ASA Nina Chapman, Sarah Buse, confessed to having feelings for the veteran cop in a recent episode, and it was obvious that he didn't know how to react. It was an exciting development, and one that Voight actor Jason Begay discussed at length during a recent interview with Deadline. While he was unsure of what the term shipping meant, and was not aware of the fact that PD fans have been shipping Voight and Chapman, he did reflect on what their dynamic could mean for the former moving forward. Begay told the outlet that he believes Voight has maintained his commitment to his late wife over the years. "I just always thought he was devoted to Camille," he explained. "He wasn't lonely, he was just alone because he has this deep sense of honor. He had made this commitment to this woman, and it was a simple commitment." Begay noted that Voight was not the kind of guy who was swayed by other women because of the emotional attachment he had to his wife. Romance is not something he's looking for, and as such, the declaration of love from Chapman took him by surprise. Chicago PD boss Gwen Segon spoke on this surprise during a separate interview with Parade. She noted, with delight, that Voight was not expecting to be pursued romantically, and he will have to reflect on what it means for his future while Chapman is away on business. Her leaving now actually gives us a nice period of time for him to process some of it, and in a Voight way because he's not the best at processing emotion, the showrunner explained. The character has not expressed romantic feelings toward Chapman, but their connection is undeniable and it will be fascinating to see how this additional tension informs their interactions in the field. As Chicago PD heads into its highly anticipated Season 12, fans have been bracing for what promises to be a deeply transformative chapter for Hank Voight. Voight, the hard-as-nails leader of the intelligence unit, has been through countless trials, personal losses, betrayals, and the steady erosion of his once unshakable moral compass. But with Season 12, there's a shift on the horizon, a budding romance that could change the trajectory of Voight's complicated emotional landscape. The actor behind the iconic character, Jason Begay, recently sat down to talk about the complexities of this unexpected turn in Voight's life. "I think the last couple of seasons have really shown the darker side of Voight," says Begay, offering insight into what makes this romance so significant. "Voight has always been a man who's made choices based on survival and protecting the people he loves. He's a man who doesn't let his guard down easily. But this season, there's someone who's cracking that shell." The actress slated to bring the romantic interest to life is newcomer, Maggie Foster, a no-nonsense detective from another precinct who will be working closely with comes at a time when the intelligence unit is dealing with a high-stakes case that tests their loyalties and forces Voight to confront some long-buried emotions. It's not just work that will be complicating Voight's life in Season 12, his heart is now in the mix. According to Begay, Voight's interest in Maggie starts off subtly. At first, it's about mutual respect, shared experiences in the field, and the kind of bond that only grows under the pressure of a high-stakes investigation. There's this unspoken understanding between them, Begay says, they've both had to make hard decisions, live with the consequences, and there's an unspoken recognition of each other's strengths and flaws. But as the season progresses, that professional respect deepens into something more. Voight, who has often kept his emotions tightly guarded, finds himself opening up to Maggie in ways that he hasn't with anyone in years. What I find interesting about Voight is that even though he's this intimidating, hardened guy, he still has this need for connection. Maggie brings something out in him that I think no one else has. She challenges him, but not in an aggressive way, more like she sees through his tough exterior. That's something Voight's not used to, and it throws him off balance, Begay reflects. For longtime fans of Voight's character, seeing this softer side of him is both exciting and a little surprising. Voight's past has been riddled with messy relationships, most notably his tumultuous and deeply troubled marriage. His love life has been anything but conventional, marked by loss, betrayal, and a profound loneliness. The death of his beloved son and the destruction of his marriage with his wife, who left him, have all left emotional scars. Voight's romantic prospects, it seemed, had been doomed from the start. So why now, after all this time, would he entertain the idea of being vulnerable with someone again? I think, with Maggie, he's seeing a possibility for something real, Begay explains. There's a safety in her that he hasn't experienced in a long time, but it's also terrifying. He's not someone who easily lets anyone get close enough to hurt him again. The push and pull between Voight's desire for intimacy and his fear of betrayal will be a central theme of Season 12, according to Begay. It's a delicate dance, he adds. Voight is at a point in his life where he's faced so many losses that he's afraid of opening up again. He's got so much at stake, his career, his team, his own sense of identity. But Maggie. She might just be the person to help him heal those old wounds. Begay's portrayal of this new romantic arc is particularly striking because it's layered with the tension of Voight's internal struggle. He's constantly grappling with his instincts, his desire to protect and keep those he loves close versus his instinct to push people away, especially when he feels they could jeopardize his world. It's this dichotomy that gives this romance a sense of realism and intrigue. Maggie's character is not one to be seen as a mere side note or a momentary distraction from Voight's complicated life. She's written as a fully realized person, with her own history, motivations, and ambitions. She's been through her own struggles, explains Begay. She's not looking for a hero, and she's certainly not someone who needs saving. In fact, it's the opposite. She's strong, independent, and she challenges Voight in ways no one else which will be gradually revealed throughout the season, includes her own history of personal loss and sacrifice, which she shares with Voight in a vulnerable moment that sets the stage for their bond to grow. They're both damaged in their own ways, Begay notes. But instead of tearing them apart, it creates an understanding. They're not perfect. They've made mistakes. But they can offer each other something real and authentic. Of course, not all of Voight's team is thrilled with the idea of him pursuing a romantic relationship. For many of his subordinates, the image of Voight as a hard-edged, no-nonsense leader is one that provides stability and confidence. A relationship could blur that line, making him appear vulnerable or distracted, two things the intelligence unit doesn't need when they're facing high-pressure situations. There's definitely going to be some pushback from within the team, Begay teases, hinting at the tension this new relationship will stir within the unit. But I think, over time, they'll see that Voight is still Voight, he just might have a softer edge to him now. And that's okay. The prospect of Voight finding love may seem like a far-fetched idea for fans who have watched him face the darkest corners of his own psyche, but Begay insists that it's precisely this romantic storyline that will propel Voight's character into new emotional territory. It's about growth, Begay reflects thoughtfully. Voight's not a character who changes overnight. But I think, through Maggie, we're seeing him take small steps towards something better. He's not just a man on a mission anymore. He's someone who could have a future. Season 12 of Chicago PD promises to be a wild ride for fans, with Voight's evolving relationship at the center of it all. As Begay puts it, this season, Voight's journey is about learning to let go of the past and embracing the possibility of a future. And that's something we can all relate to, no matter what we've been through. With so much at stake, fans can expect to see the tough, battle-worn Voight continue his journey of self-discovery, and maybe, just maybe, find the love and redemption he never thought possible. As always, in the world of Chicago PD, nothing is certain, but one thing is for sure, Voight's emotional growth is about to take center stage in a way no one saw coming.